Panera Bread, a bakery that, if nothing else, has mastered sweet treats, but the most contrived ordering process I've ever experienced.
A chocolate chip cookie that made me feel chipper, but erroneous ingredients in my salad that were not supposed to be there.
Fun, wacky murals on the side of the building, but I couldn't help but feel mistakes were made when the view across the street is one of the most delicious and popular bakeries in all of Southern California. We left our homes for this, so today we'll cover everything good about eating at a Panera Bread before discussing the not good to see if those two things are in perfect harmony in an effort to locate the midpoint of all chain restaurants. Is it Panera Bread? Let's find out together. This is the Fine Dining Podcast.
Your table is ready, take a seat. The flavor of the day is mediocrity. Wouldn't you like to try a bite? Guarantee it'll be the perfect bite. Fine dining, better than you thought, worse than you hoped. Fine dining, we don't treat mediocre as a joke. Ranking every single place we've been, looking for the perfect 5 out of 10.
Hello, and welcome to the Fine Dining Podcast, the search for the most mediocre restaurant in America. I'm your host, Michael Ornelas, and this is the show where I'm looking for the precisely in-the-middle dining experience, the perfect 5.00 out of 10, because only once you know what's directly in the center can you tell what's good or not good by comparison. Currently, the absolute pinnacle of the middle is Cracker Barrel, which is sitting pretty on my scoreboard, the tchotchke of mediocrity, at a 5.01 out of 10. Will Panera Bread dethrone it and become the objective point of comparison for all of us to determine good or bad by? Or will this just be part of the journey en route to that destination? Joining me today to discuss Panera Bread, a 3-time Employee of the Year of the brand. I'm making that up, but I'm going to assume it's true. A friend and comedian who has been employed by 6 different chain restaurants I've covered on this show. It's Lyss Johnson.
Yay!
Lyss, welcome back.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. Yeah, we went to Panera. How are you feeling?
It was a great experience. I knew it was going to be when I pulled up and the sign on the wall, the size of the door said, "Have a macaroon moment."
Have a macaroon moment.
I was like, it's so fun.
I do want to say you came prepped for this. You have baguette earrings.
Oh, yeah. One broke. But I did have baguette earrings. I have some sort of croissant necklace.
Yep.
I wanted to make it more subtle.
Like a powdered sugar on it, too.
Exactly.
So it's almost like when you get an almond croissant, just sans the almonds.
All about details. I try to dress like
got
I'm
the
a
Panera green.
manager.
You've got the Panera green going.
I wanted to fit the theme.
So you came prepared. We have to talk about all of the elements of Panera before putting it into a score. Are you ready to jump into it?
I'm ready.
All right. We're going to talk about all the things about this Panera lunch that we had that were good.
This is good, done like it should be. The stuff that's finger licking, a stick in the landing. This is good, I knew that you could. This is good.
I just have to say, they tried.
They tried.
They really tried with the decor in so many ways that I can't bash the effort, because I think I'm jaded by so many places not making an effort that, look, even a swing and a miss is still a swing.
The color palette is like warm. It makes sense. It's like, oh, this is loving. This is, energizing. Get your work done here. Versus like when you go into some Chipotles and they have the wall of just like random holes. You know what I'm talking about? Like this, it feels thoughtful. Like you said, it feels intentional.
The wall of random holes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is that?
I don't know. It sounds like something at a sex club.
Something about it. Yeah.
I loved. So I parked on the side of the building that happened to have this, and I would have never known it was there otherwise. But on the exterior of this Panera, there are 3 pretty grand murals that are, I want to say, the values of the company, which is bread, right? Yeah, there's a woman baking bread, and there's like a big bread oven. Then there's another guy with a table full of breads, but they're all just like, it's almost like Greek paintings.
Yeah, they were like Renaissance style murals
Yeah.
depicting these like dreamy imagery of romanticizing a bakery if it was like in a field under heaven.
Right.
They're forgetting they just sold death lemonades like 2 seconds ago. Where did that go? Where's the death lemonade mural?
Yeah. Oh, we'll
Felt random.
We'll put the lack of death lemonade in the not good later.
Yeah.
We'll get to it.
But this was good. Yeah.
We're positive here.
We were impressed.
And you don't have to agree with me. Like if you didn't like these murals, but I'm gonna sing their praises.
I did. They were gorgeous.
But yes, and then they have the guy selling bread, and he's like blowing like a bullhorn. Like I guess that's like, come get your bread. Like I don't know what the goal is with that.
And then there was like a shepherd with some sheep, I think.
Well, it was a table out in the middle of a field.
Right.
Like a round table with a bunch of people gathered eating. At first glance, what I thought was all bread. When I came and got you and then took you back to it, I did notice it was like plates of like mush.
Some sort of mush. Yeah.
It looked like a rice with like a bean gravy or something. And then a bunch of bread on the table.
Right.
And then there's like a couple off to the side that I don't know if they're watching because they're perverts.
Yeah.
Or if they just are invited and on their way. There wasn't enough motion in their gait for me to think they were on their way to the table. So I don't know.
They were kind of like hiding behind a tree, I felt like, too.
Yeah.
It felt pervy.
It
felt cucky in a way somehow. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that. I'm sorry.
You did. And then this is the one thing about them I'll knock. They tried a little too much with the off to the side of that. They have on the mural someone climbing and actively painting the mural as part of the mural. And it's just like, you're trying too hard.
They broke the fourth wall. Like, you don't need to do that.
They saw Panera. It somewhere and they were like, ooh, let's put that on our Panera. Yeah, it's fine. I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
But I did like the murals overall. Just that one move. I'm like, all right, that's hacky.
Yeah, they tried.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then inside, I mean, I don't know. What did you think of the decor? What did you think was good about the decor? You
said, look, there's a framed picture of lettuce. And I turned and it just was a giant photo of just a ball of lettuce, head of lettuce. And I'm like, well, at least you know what you're getting into. They're like, we have lettuce here.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because like there was one that was like of a strawberry. There was like a farmer picking like gourds, like little pumpkins or something, or butternut squash or something.
Yeah.
They had actual tractors through fields. They had weathered hands over a bucket of grapes.
Yeah.
And thinking back to the Eat Eats last week and the antibiotic controversy that was like that riled up the agricultural community. Yeah. I think this is them trying to overcorrect of like, see, we celebrate you.
They're trying to patch stuff up with the farmers, clearly. Yeah. They're like, look, like it's framed. Like,
what more do you want?
Yeah, definitely.
There was like a row of cutting boards.
Yeah, they were like quirky cutting boards, kind of like patterns.
All had different patterns on them. Yeah,
that was like art installation vibes.
Yeah.
I appreciated that.
And so they tried.
They tried. All with a great color scheme, tying it all together. It's like pastel, green, the green,
Yeah, but I mean, that's a corporate green. That's a workplace green.
Yeah, this could be Olive Garden. This could be could be many different greens. Yeah.
Okay, what else is good? That's a bad start when it's like we've said one thing we liked and we're like, all right, what else was
we mentioned everything but the food like immediately.
I do actually have several food items in the good. And I will go on record saying I didn't have high hopes for it. So maybe it's a case of my expectations were so low that by just exceeding them, I was way impressed.
Yeah.
But in the good, I've got the cherry pastry. Which, like a Danish with very sweet cherries on top, a little oversugared. But I will say the bread tasted fresh. Is that a of disagreement?
I have it not sorted exactly similar. The memory is a little different in my mind.
All right. But I will say the red looked very dark.
Yeah.
In a way to where like if I saw that color in blood, I'd be like, that person is unhealthy. I'm used to the vibrant red, but then I realized that the vibrant red is probably red food dye. So I feel like this was probably a little bit more natural, despite the fact that you made the comment during the meal that you think that they used a lot of red dye in this.
Yeah, I was like, the cherries looked like balls of red 40. I'm like, I don't know that I even want to ingest this.
Yeah, I don't know. At the end of the day, even though it looked like old blood, I thought it tasted good. I gave it a 7 out of 10.
That's beautiful.
So if you're going to bring it up later and it's in a different category, we'll move on.
No, I did have notes on the cherry. It just felt on the cherry pastry. I think it was like, okay, I can do the red 40 cherry balls. And cherry, I guess in quotes. And then my issue was the pastry was like so chalky, it felt like to me. Like I felt like afterward, like it coated my teeth or something. I think I gave it like a 4 out of 10.
Wow.
So a little lower than yours.
I
should have gave you my chunk because I don't think I finished it.
It's fine. Portion control. I don't need more than I ate. I already ate a lot of food. Okay, on to the next sweet. Maybe you'll think differently. Actually, you didn't try this one. The cinnamon crunch bagel.
Oh, I did. No,
I did.
Yep.
Okay. I thought this was really good.
It was too good. It was too good. That's why I didn't eat a lot.
Yeah. I saw it mentioned a lot on Yelp when I was going through Yelp reviews. This was the most recurring hit item that I saw.
Yeah.
I think Yelp is right. I went 8 out of 10 on the cinnamon crunch bagel. I also love cinnamon toast crunch, which just evoking that with the name makes me think of my favorite cereal.
Yeah.
So if you can deliver something that's even remotely close to that taste experience, I'm probably going to like it. So 8 out of 10 on that. What would you give it?
It was good. I did take a little nibble of it. Might have dairy or something. Like I'm like, don't listen to me if you're actually vegan. I did take a bite. It was delicious. It was like 9 out of 10 for me. It was so good. I would love to have just like warm, fresh. It was good.
Yeah.
Good job, Panera.
Yeah. And then I had the Fireside chili in a bread bowl, which it was just like a very hearty, savory dish with beans, chili, chunks of meat, and the sourdough I thought was fresh. The way that I ate it was, because they serve it to you with like the top, like the plug off to the side. And what I like to do, and I know this is uncivilized and I don't care, I put that plug right back in there.
Plug it back up.
So that it like gets covered in all of like the soup.
You gotta.
And then I eat the plug. It's like eating, you know how you're supposed to eat the placenta?
Michael's also a doula.
I don't think the doula is supposed to eat the placenta. I think the mother is. That'd be crazy to just hire someone to eat your own. Oh, horrible.
Oh, I just imagine my OBGYN like, have you ever had a bread bowl? It's kind of like that. Like you just kind of dunk it back.
So that's what that experience was. And it was the best damn placenta I've ever had.
Amen.
The chili I did think was good. The sourdough I liked. I did kind of do that thing where like I was getting all of the chili because I was scraping the sides of the bread bowl to make sure I also got bread chunks in each bite.
Yeah.
So then I looked down and I was like, oh, because I was chasing those bread sides, I literally ate all of the chili. And I was like, well, I guess I can just tear the bowl in half and then just start eating the bowl, which is what you're supposed to do with a bread bowl.
You're supposed to.
But it still feels so undignified.
Something about it. Yeah. Last time I had one, I feel like I was gnawing at it with my teeth too.
Yeah. You just get in there.
Yeah.
There's something very carnal about eating a bread bowl.
Yeah.
Especially when you do it in like a tear it in half and like, I've already eaten your insides, you know?
Already gutted you.
Yeah. But it was good. And I will say the quality of the sourdough was something I expected to have qualms with, and I didn't. I ended up liking it. I remember the last time I had Panera, I remember feeling that the quality of the bread was questionable. It's probably 4 or 5 years ago, maybe.
Yeah.
So, and then there's the chocolate chipper cookie, which we both enjoyed.
Yeah. We were chipper as hell.
I think it had multiple types of chocolate because it had different like shades of brown. I think they had a dark chocolate milk chocolate mix, maybe.
Yeah.
I wrote IF with this. I'm very cool.
Michael F's with it.
I F with it. But yeah, I went 7.5 out of 10. This is the type of cookie that if I was craving a cookie and I was near a Panera, it would bring me back in to be like, yeah, sure, I'll get a chocolate chipper cookie.
Yeah.
Right now from Panera.
It's enough to bring you back. I hope I'm allowed to speak on that. I only took a little nibble of each one, but the cookie was definitely good. Kind of melt in your mouth.
Was it the highlight or did
the
you
highlight
prefer
of
the bagel?
Highlight of the bakery, I'll say.
Okay, so you liked it more than the bagel.
Yeah, I think I did.
So what are you scoring
right
this?
On the sugar. I'll say 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10.
Because it was good.
Yeah. All right, so that is all of the magic of Panera. We got to talk about the things that are not so good. So let's play that little ditty.
This is not so good. I'm not quite sure about it. Could have done without it. The stuff that brings down the mood. This is just not very good.
Diddy? Can you say Diddy in these modern times?
We're gonna have what was it? A freak off? Is that what? Is that the
this
term?
This is where the channel's getting shut down.
No, you want to know where the channel's getting shut down? I'll tell a story that I held to myself last time. So they don't have the charged lemonade.
Yeah.
I don't drink a lot of very caffeinated things, but like based on the reputation that it has as this thing that'll like really amp you up, the only thing that I can draw a parallel to in my own life, when I was in college, I got a pack of like those gas station boner pills.
And here I was afraid to say the word hell.
You said cucking earlier.
Oh yeah, my bad.
And I was like, yeah, sure, let's try this out with a girl I was seeing. And all that ended up happening was my face got very flush and I felt like I was going to die. I just felt my heart pounding. There was no motion on the bottom half of my body as a result of it. I just felt like my heart was, and like literally that's just, when I hear of like Monster Energy drink, Red Bull, or the charged lemonade at Panera, all I think about is gas station boner pills. I'm like,
boner pills.
This isn't going to charge me up the way that it advertises. This is just going to lead to my demise.
Yeah. It's probably similar symptoms, but Panera's not selling gas station boner pills. There's a reason. Like, don't do that, Panera.
No, there's room. There's room. There's a place for it.
In between the coffee and the soda machine, there's like a dispenser. Like,
just like
I feel like there are always
primal.
like 7 of them, and they're all different shapes and sizes.
Yeah,
and it's like, what do you pop all of them at once?
Yeah,
it's
I don't
weird.
know. But yeah, I just basically that night went to bed with a pounding heart.
Oh God!
And I was and by the way, I didn't mention this to my girlfriend at the time. She didn't know that this happened. This was like I'll spice things up kind of thing. And I just ended up being like, this was the dumbest decision because I have no idea what's in that.
Yeah.
And it did not have any of the advertised positive effects.
Oh God.
Charged lemonade. Anyways. None of that had to do with Panera, but it is what the charged lemonade made me think of.
Exactly. It probably felt the same.
Okay. So the first thing that I really have in the not good is, one, I hate an ordering kiosk. But on top of that, the process of getting yourself in the system was not 1 step long.
It wasn't.
It wasn't 2 steps long. It was 3 steps long.
Yep.
And I'm talking about after the ordering, which in and of itself is a bunch of steps.
Yeah.
I mentioned it before, but I don't like having to go through all these different menus to customize it the way that I want to. I just want to say to someone, hey, give me this, no cheese.
Yeah.
How long did that take? That was a very quick sentence. And if their job is they're behind this computer screen. They know where all the buttons are.
Yeah, exactly.
I've never been to this iPad before. So for me, it's a huge struggle to like navigate menus and like, you know, I can tell like some places do headers, some places do footers. Some people just have you browse by category. Some people have you type stuff in. Some places it's a sidebar. So, you know,
it's not uniform.
You have to learn the system per the chain that you go to.
Right.
And so we do all this. By the way, I was set on trying I saw an ad for it on TV yesterday. The French Dipper. They have these sandwiches. They have two different sandwiches, but the one I want is the French dip one. I forget what the other one was. But it's basically a French dip sandwich, and it comes with like an au jus dipping sauce, and you dip it in that. And it looked good. I like a French dip. It's been a while since I've had one. I was looking forward to it. Couldn't find it anywhere in the automated menu. I asked the lady behind the counter, and she just went, "Oh, it went bye-bye." What? And she just waved. It's like, what? How is this how you're communicating? Have a conversation. It's not part of the pick 2 menu.
Went bye-bye.
It went bye-bye.
Yeah.
Stop just repeating that.
And it was, mind you, it was like 4 of those iPads in a row, and she just was way in the corner, just happened to yell from across the restaurant.
She liked to watch.
Something?
She liked to watch. She was a pervert.
These perverts. Seriously. These Panera perverts.
And like later, I did see someone ordering with her.
Yeah, and I was trying to do that the whole time. I was kind of looking at her like, okay, well, like, you can come, like, chill with us. Come hang out, like, and help us. Like, she wasn't having it.
No.
All we got was bye-bye.
Yeah, it went bye-bye. And then it was even like for today or for all time.
Yeah, you had to clarify. You're like, you're out for the afternoon, or like, does it not exist?
Yeah, we never had
it.
Yeah. And I look around and I see behind me another one of the ones at the walkway, the little iPad for ordering. Right at the entrance. And there's like this old woman, probably in her like 70s or 80s, being helped by her entire family to try and figure out the thing. And I was like, this seems so unnecessary.
Yeah.
Just go, encourage people to go to the counter. I feel like the iPad should be optional, not the default.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Because it just causes so many headaches for, an entire few generations of people who are not tech savvy. And then even people like me who are just want to make customizations, it's harder to navigate. I'm still able to do it. I'm okay.
You're not Supper app level old.
No. Well, I could use the Supper app as like I'm trying to find a match.
Yeah, you can get matched. But...
I wouldn't use it as I wouldn't be a host on Supper. Yeah. I'm not that old. I might be on Slumber. I do bore people with my stories sometimes. So I go through the whole menu and it's like, okay, enter your phone number. And I was like, oh, is this one of those places where they'll text you when your order's ready? Okay, put in the phone number. Then it's like, okay, take a buzzer. And I'm like, wait, but I gave you the phone number.
Right.
All right, I take a buzzer. And it's like, okay, enter the number on your buzzer into the thing so we can activate it.
Yeah.
And I do that. And then it's after all of that, they have my phone number. I have a buzzer. They're like, all right, give us your name. We're just going to call that. Why do I have a buzzer?
Why the fuck was any of that necessary?
What is this? And then you later at the table were like, I can't believe you put your number in.
I'm like, you're just giving them your raw data?
And I'm like, I didn't know I had a choice. You're like, I usually opt out. What, is there a tiny X in the corner on that page that I was supposed to notice and click on?
Out of cookies. Yeah, I was shocked when you put in your phone number and your name. I'm like, are they going to ask for a retinal scan after this? You're going to have to go and get a full.
You have to do a thumbprint, a face scan.
Yeah.
Then we extract your blood. Yeah, we use it in the cherry Danish.
And it gets a little old hence
blood,
the color.
Old blood. Then you have to do like an obstacle course. It's like wipe out to get to the end to then claim your order.
Yeah, exactly.
Too much. I didn't care for it. I like simple. I like, what's your name? I like.
Yeah.
Or I like it being brought to the table. But if anything, just call my name.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you have a preference?
I like a good talk to someone, but they're not trying to talk. But if it's a day like today where I'm like, oh, look at my earrings because we're having a fun afternoon.
You were like staring at the lady who went bye-bye and you were just like flicking your baguette at her.
She's like, yeah, bitch, I get it. No, I like.
And you're like, that's my username.
Yeah,
it's my Instagram. You follow me.
I like a can talk to a human representative, but you're going to get a pager and then you can silently go grab the food.
Yeah.
Because then he brought it over, but you also had to bring it over. And then I felt like,
I was also very stressed out that like I brought the buzzer to the counter to pick up the food. And then you set it on the counter and then it's even louder on the counter and they're making no effort to turn it off. So it's just this like super hyper stimulating environment where you're just like, I'm just like, oh my God, can you please turn that off? They're like, put it in the basket. I was like, with the other ones?
Yeah. That are also going off simultaneously.
How do you drown this out?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, well, it's the guy with the bread horn.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what the bullhorn's for. It's for drowning out the buzzers. I didn't love that.
Mm-hmm.
What else do you have as not good?
So my biggest not good was the music off the bat.
That was the biggest one.
That was the biggest off the bat. I don't know if that's like a ADHD thing. It was like off-brand Jonas Brothers, like or like generic Imagine Dragons or something.
It was
just
a lot of
this
pop.
real,
yeah.
And then there would be one big song, like they had "Girls So Confusing" by Charlie XCX, like a major song with Lorde. Played in between, interspersed this like corporate AI generated bullshit, and I'm like, did they blow their whole budget on like a couple songs? And then
they pay for. I think they just put on Spotify. I don't think they're licensing songs just to play them in a store in the background.
Yeah, I didn't know what was going on there. The music.
I have a background in legal, so
exactly. You as my legal
doctor, lawyer,
doula,
Michael,
Dr.
Michael Doula.
Exactly. The music was throwing me off, and then
Dr. Doula Esquire, is that
Dr. Doula?
Dr. Doolittle.
Something. Dr. Doolittle.
Dumb. All right.
It was throwing me off, the music.
Yeah.
It was throwing me off.
It did. It reminded me of, like, I used to work in a hotel and I'd be in the lobby all the time. And it's just kind of like the generic stuff that you hear in any workplace or like retail or something like that.
So it's just like vaguely off. Like it felt like I was on a bad trip or something. Because I'm like, I keep thinking this is like a Red Hot Chili Peppers song. Not that I would care either way, but then it's off a little bit. It was weird.
Yeah.
Just throwing me off. I've done too many drugs.
There was a one table where the lighting was off.
Yes,
like,
the interrogation table, you called it.
Well, so they had like tungsten lighting for most of the store where it's like orangey, warmer. It's like you're in a home. And then they had one big round fluorescent lamp.
Yes.
And it just felt like overhead, like at a warehouse or something.
Yes.
And I was calling it the interrogation table because it's like, what do they do with that? What, like, who wants that like bright white light when you're in the middle of a cozier setup?
Yes. It was like warm peach lit booths, very intimate around. And then in the middle, just the like clinical lighting over like a surgeon table.
Yeah.
It was so bright.
You had a lot of like medical comparisons while we were there. And I was like, I think it's subliminal because when we sat down, there were 4 people in like doctor's coats sitting next to us.
The nurses next to us. It was like kind of seeping in.
It set the tone. Yeah.
So overall, it was edible. It was all edible. But the baguette I got as my side because I was like, okay, the picture, it's like this steaming hot, but just fresh baguette that was cooked by like the people on the beautiful mural. It was pretty hard. It was pretty like you could use it to probably like build some small furniture or something if you wanted. It had a pretty hardness texture to it.
Yeah.
Pretty hard. And it was cold. Like I think it was like it wasn't like specifically room temperature. It was like cold. I think it was like probably leaning against like a butter tub or something. So that I gave like a 3 out of 10 because I still ate it,
Yeah.
And then I got the Greek salad with no cheese, and that was interesting.
Well, it's what, like tomatoes,
onions, like olives and pepperoncinis, cucumbers.
Yeah.
It had like a little splash of some sort of strawberry fruity dressing, like
I know
pink
you seem like it was just like very out of place.
It's very out of place. Like it must have dumped a little bit in their salad, their main salad bin, and then it's kind of like getting microdosed into everybody else that they're.
I think cross contamination is the word, not microdosing. I know you said you've done a lot of drugs, but.
Yeah, I got dosed with the cross-contaminated with the strawberry dressing.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, there's like I had a strawberry moment in between what was supposed to be kind of like what would you call it? Just like a Greek salad, like a more savory
And you
salad.
didn't want this strawberry
I didn't
moment.
ask for that, but I rolled with it. I rolled with the punches. That overall, I gave like a 4 out of 10 because I still ate it. A lot of raw onions in it. A lot of just raw onions at the top of it. And then I got the Mediterranean vegetable sandwich. Mediterranean veggie sandwich, which also had a lot of raw onions in it.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, okay, when I was eating the sandwich, the bread kind of dissolved and it revealed that the ingredients in my salad and on the sandwich are the exact same. And it's mostly just raw onions. So that too, same score, probably 3 out of 10, something like that. Yeah.
I didn't have any food and not good. Literally all my food was either just there or good, which did surprise me. So I will give overall a thumb up to the food. Not 2 thumbs. You know, could be more. But for me, the food's getting 1 thumb. I assume for you, it's either thumb down or thumbs in the middle.
It's like neutral thumb because I still ate it.
Yeah.
You know.
The service, I am going to give a thumbs down to when you're just being like, bye-bye. Bye-bye to the food you want. And then just there's no warmth. Well, you know what? I'm going to go neutral because the guy that I gave the buzzer to was like, do you want me to help you with the plates? I thought that they'd be giving us a tray, which is why when you asked, do you want me to help? I was like, no, I'll get all the food. And then I went and it's like 5 separate plates. And I was just like, oh, I can't carry all these. And the guy offered to help. So that was nice.
Yeah.
So I'll go thumbs in the middle. But the people behind the counter, the disconnect of just not being involved in the process at all bugs me a little bit.
Yeah.
But I do have one more major gripe, and this is a philosophical thing.
Yeah.
I think bathroom codes are dehumanizing.
Me too. Amen.
Stop gatekeeping the piss. You know?
Everyone's got to take a dump.
Everyone's got to take a dump. Just let people do it. Like, what do you care?
Exactly.
Stop making it customers only. I almost lost my mind in a subway because I had to pee and they were like, customers only. And I was like, you do not understand how close I am to peeing my pants right now. I didn't. But the guy like never made eye contact with me. There was a line of people, so I couldn't even like buy something quickly. I wanted to just throw cash at him and be like, can you just tell me the 4 numbers I punch in?
Yeah, exactly. Like, this is an emergency.
But it's like, and there was no empathy or whatever. And I hate that gatekeeping. And like, look, I get it. Sometimes people mess up public restrooms. It happens. Things happen. And it's unfortunate, but it is also kind of a part of doing business.
Absolutely.
You're going to have customers. Some of those customers are going to need to use the restroom. I have a chronic colon disease.
Exactly.
I might need to use a restroom at any point.
Yeah.
Not at a restaurant I'm dining at. I might just be passing somewhere on the street.
Yes.
And I'm lucky enough in that I haven't had any issues that have gone south in that regard. But like, I recognize the possibility is there, and it's just a very human thing.
It needs to be accessible.
So stop
with the bathroom
keeping the piss.
Don't gatekeep it.
Let it free.
Let it free. Don't pissgate. Like
pissgate
or something.
Piss.
I'll think of a better pun like on the drive home.
Pissgate sounds like a scandal that happened. Like, who took all of my urine? I had a sample in my fridge and somebody took it.
Exactly. Well, because I went to the bathroom to do my business, and then
number 1 or number 2?
It was number 1.
3.
It was number 1 because I wasn't going to keep. It was number 5. No.
Oh wow.
Didn't want to keep you waiting, so I'm like, okay, let me pee, and then I had to get that run back to the lady, the bye lady, to get the code, and then she gives me the code. I run back, and then we eat, and because all I ate the whole meal was raw onions, I'm like, okay, good thing I brought a literal like a family size thing of mouthwash.
She went to Costco.
Yeah, I have a giant thing of mouthwash in my purse. It's the only thing I have in my purse for with lunch with Michael.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I got to go back to the bathroom, and I forgot the fucking code, so I had to go back to the front, ask Miss Bye for the second time
like a whole
now.
Thing. Yeah.
Yeah, just make it open.
Yeah.
Just make it open. Bathroom access for all.
And also, I'm going to say decor-wise, thumbs in the middle.
Thumbs in the middle.
I know that there was no segue effort there, but just wanted to get it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not good, not bad. Wasn't offended by it. I could see myself bringing a laptop there and like writing if that's, something I was inclined to do on a day. It's not the worst environment for it. I would probably prefer like an artisan coffee shop or something just for the vibes. They usually put more care if they're like a mom and pop business versus a chain.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't hate spending time here. So thumbs in the middle on that. Thumbs in the middle on service. 1 thumb up on food. Overall, I'm shocked at those. That said, there's so much more in the middle for us to talk about. So let's jump into everything that was just there.
This is a weird one. I'm not quite sure what to say about it. Yeah. This is for the stuff that is just there.
For me, this is going to be a lot of the food. Basically all of the non-sweets to me. And I did like that, the chili with the bread bowl, but everything else was kind of just there for me. So ramping through it, the kettle cooked potato chips. I usually wouldn't review those, but they are Panera branded. They say Panera Bread brand kettle cooked potato chips.
Yes.
And you know what? They taste like kettle cooked potato chips. They're not reinventing the wheel. They're not doing anything different.
Yep.
They were fine.
They were just good.
I went 5.5 out of 10.
Yeah.
You tried one, right?
You let me I was like, oh, let me try one, as if it would be an experience that was
It's
memorable.
unforgettable, and you've already forgotten it.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, oh, there was some chips. Yeah.
I had the Smokehouse barbecue chicken sandwich. There's like a half sandwich because I did the half and half deal with my soup. And it was like a apple cider barbecue. It was a little too sweet for a I'm a Texas boy, so like barbecue sauce is kind of it's kind of something where like I like a generic barbecue sauce, but I'm not going to be impressed easily by your barbecue sauce.
Yeah.
Like I'll eat whatever barbecue sauce.
Yeah.
But the pulled chicken was fine. I do like red onion as a thing, but because of the sauce just really not pulling its weight. And I will say the ciabatta bread was okay. But I went right in the middle, 5 out of 10 for this sandwich. Do you have any food that was just there? I assume you probably do, right?
I think I covered everything. Was mostly just there. I kind of had it in the bad list. Or not bad, not good. Because it wasn't bad. It just wasn't good.
Yeah, that's all I have.
For the just there category, I had the lady behind the counter because physically she just was there. She wasn't doing anything or saying anything. She just was. It was her job to just simply be there.
I have her in not good from but like not her personally. It's more like her role.
It's not her personally.
It's
not her
role
personally.
in the whole equation.
Yeah,
it's just
she's
kind
just
of
supposed
like
to linger, but yeah, it was interesting.
Just watch.
And just watch
over. Likes to watch.
Yep.
All these perverts. I don't know why I'm really latching onto perverts this episode.
The Panera perverts.
The Panera pervs.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. Even though I liked the effort of the decor overall was like, I don't know. The picture right behind me had like a farmer picking a pumpkin with like a very big lens flare. Like they just captured the sun right behind him. And I was like, you guys think you're so smart. Such good artsy photographers just capturing the sun like that. You're not shit. I don't know. It made me mad in like you're calling this art. It's a dude farming and you're just trying to suck up to farmers after your little easy chicken campaign. Like I know
what you did.
I don't fall for it. There's no reason for that photo to inspire rage within me, yet it did.
It did.
But I'm still gonna say just there with it because like objectively, it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just there. I'm trying to think of anything else.
Yeah, most of my thoughts were, I guess, divided. Like bakery stuff, good.
Yes.
Everything else, just there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Lyss, there's not that much else to do then. We need to put all of these considerations together to come up with a score for Panera Bread. But before we do that, this is your first time on the Fine Dining Podcast. You just haven't been to the 98 restaurants I've done so far in the run of this show. So you're just not calibrated. You don't have the same points of reference as I do. We need to know what's on your far end of good, what's on your far end of not good. So we are going to go to this week's calibration station.
Calibration station, comparing this meal to the best of the worst. Calibration station, chugga, 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 choo, choo.
Okay. Lyss, I gotta know, you can start with whichever one you want, but I want to hear the best dining experience you've ever had at a restaurant as a customer, the worst dining experience you've ever had at a restaurant as a customer.
My worst experience at a restaurant was at a Planet Hollywood
Okay.
back when it used to exist. And it
still exists. There's 4, and one of them is at the LAX airport pre-security. So you could go. I did.
You don't need a boarding pass.
You
They're
don't.
like, come chill.
I literally went just for Planet Hollywood for the show.
No shit.
Yeah.
Oh, was it good?
No.
Oh, okay.
It was fine.
See?
Oh, no.
That corroborates with my story. Yeah, where's
It's like
it
a
on
4.9.
4.9. Okay, well, this is going to be my 0.
Yeah.
Planet Hollywood is my worst dining experience. And that might be because this is like a decade ago when I first moved to LA, and it was before like Uber and Lyft were real big, back when you had to call a literal taxi. And I told the taxi driver, and I was a young woman, and I was trying to go to Planned Parenthood in Hollywood. And because the taxi driver's car was so loud, and I wasn't really paying attention, and I was busy on Snapchat or whatever I was doing back in that day. And so he pulls up to Planet Hollywood, and I was like, oh, this is hilarious. Like, everything else can wait.
Yeah.
Because it was happy hour, and like everything else.
love Usually a visit to Planned Parenthood is not urgent.
Yeah.
And I love the idea that you're like, you know what?
I could have a couple drinks. This UTI can wait. So I walk into the Planet Hollywood, and I'm the only person in there, like at all, like working or dining or anything. And immediately my shoes are just like it's sticky as hell everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
And I had a bunch of like just silly, goofy drinks, whatever. It was just all syrup and stuff. But then I wanted to get this like souvenir cup. And for this reason alone, it's at a 0. Is I got like a souvenir Planet Hollywood cup that had the big straw and everything. And I was like, oh, I'll get like a Diet Coke. I tried to take a sip of it, and it wouldn't go, like nothing would come. So I was like, oh, is it like a shake or a smoothie by accident?
Uh-huh.
And then I unscrew the Planet Hollywood lid and dig in the ice, and there's a chicken bag in there. There's like a bag of pre-prepared chicken,
like sous vide type thing.
Like the chef clearly the chef at Planet Hollywood, clearly they made a salad at some point, like a side salad. Dumped the chicken, and this isn't the first time this has happened to me.
Hold on. This isn't the first time you've sipped a drink that had a chicken bag in it. That's the thing that's happened to you more than once.
I'm
even though
tired of this. I'm so sick of this. And I don't eat meat.
Everywhere I go,
I don't eat meat. So I was like, why is this happening?
I'm in the unlimited sip club at Panera, and I keep getting chicken.
Getting the chicken. So the chef clearly took the chicken in the bag and then meant to throw it away, and it ended up in the ice machine for God knows how long, and ended up in my drink. So
that's crazy.
The chicken bag at Planet Hollywood is a 0. That's a 0.
It's
a 0.
I support that.
Thank you.
That's pretty bad. That does not belong in a straw.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I don't want to drink the chicken bag.
All right. And now a 10. Let's hear something nice.
A 10.
Best meal you've ever had at a restaurant.
Okay, yeah. Best meal I had at a restaurant. It's like a small business, like a mom and pop owned business in LA.
It's called Planned Parenthood.
It's called Planned. They have snacks in the lobby. Am I allowed to say it if it's a smaller? It doesn't matter, right? Okay, yeah. It's
you're complimenting them. You're calling them the best thing you've ever had.
Things about it. Yeah. Okay. Good. Yeah. It's called Three Borders, and it's in LA, and it's
Are they still around?
I think it's still around, definitely. And it's kind of the experience is like you go in, and it's like we got brunch there. My husband and I did, and it's like one mom, I think, who does it all, and she gets your order, but it's more of like a therapy session. She was like, oh, what do you need today, kind of thing. And the food was so good. We always say
Remember what you ate?
It was like a vegan breakfast burrito, and it just had like every vegetable that ever existed, and it just melted in your mouth. And it was like a storybook. There was like chapters, there's characters. It was beautiful. And my husband and I, it was like poetry. My husband and I had just gotten in an argument right before we got there, and it healed it. And it healed that because it was we had lunch plans at 10 a.m. and the morning earlier the fire alarm went off like in the middle of the day at like middle of the night at 4 a.m. And we both woke up and we were crabby, and we're like, you're not changing the battery right. No, you're not changing the battery right. You're not changing the battery right. So we're all crabby, and we're sitting at brunch, and we start eating this food, and we just start
like, I love
completely
you so much.
made up. Yeah, completely 180. We're talking about the night we met. We're like talking about our future plans. And so we go there like all the time now. The food was so good. So that's like 10.5 out of 10. It was so delicious.
Well, now your scale is skewed because
Yeah.
it's not out of 10.
If it doesn't save my marriage, like my scale is drinking the chicken bag and saving my marriage. Like
That's a pretty fair scale. I'm going to be honest with you. Those are valid reasons to go 0 and 10.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's my calibration station.
All right.
Mhm.
Cool. Well, now that you're calibrated, we can get our final scores.
Final rating.
This is the moment we've been waiting for. It is time to reveal the final score.
Okay. It all comes down to this. Panera needs a spot on the tchotchke of mediocrity to call its own. Lyss, walk me through what you're scoring it and why you're scoring it that.
I'm scoring it a 6.77 because overall, the food was edible. And if this would have been a hospital cafeteria, it would have been incredible. It would have been really good. Like if I was inpatient for weeks at a time and I had the salad I had today, I would be like, this is actually good. I don't mind the strawberry liqueur that was dumped in. But the bakery part was consistently good. Even though I had only a couple nibbles, it was good enough for me to go like, that's a treat. When you want like a treat,
the
it was a
bakery
good
hit
treat.
so
Yeah.
hard today.
it hit good. It was good. Yeah.
The bakery was like when the beat drops in dubstep.
Yeah.
That's what this bakery was like. Where it was like, oh, it sounds like robots.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly. It's funny you say that because now I was going to say my stomach's making noises. It sounds like a Skrillex song. So there's part of that, but 6.77.
Interesting. Because it sounds like on the whole, I know that you just said pretty much nice things about Panera, but like just dissecting all the scores you gave, on average, it sounds like you scored stuff lower than I did, yet your score is higher than mine, which is totally fine.
Yeah.
You know, you can see it through whatever lens you like.
Yeah.
For me, this is a pretty middling meal, but I will put it on the positive side of it when I'm comparing it to Cracker Barrel, which was just a painfully average meal.
Yes.
This was more positive than that. I don't like that they're gatekeeping the piss.
Yeah.
But
Points deducted.
the bakery's great. I don't like that they're like sucking up to farmers after dissing them.
Right.
But they made an effort with the decor. I like the murals, but you know, the barbecue sauce on the chicken sandwich, not impressing me. So there is a lot of balance. For every good thing, there is a not good thing. So I'm going to give Panera Bread a 5.13.
Oh.
Which means when we put our scores together, Panera goes up on the tchotchke of mediocrity at a 5.95.
Woo! Above Hooters. Wow.
Which is not a super high bar.
It feels right, though. That feels right. It feels
It's
right.
barely above Chipotle.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be honest, I agree with that.
Yeah.
I'm not the biggest Chipotle stan. Both are kind of like the top two fast casual.
Fast casual. Yeah. That's the new word I learned today.
And for it to be right around there, I can see it. So
Yeah.
I'm content with a 5.95 for Panera Bread. And 5.95 does make it definitively better than mediocre.
Better than mediocre. It's better than a Cracker Barrel.
But better than mediocre is not perfectly mediocre. It is not the perfect 5.00. So it is not the definitive restaurant that I can use as a litmus test to rate all restaurants, good or bad.
Yeah.
So I have to go to the You Must Bowl to determine what I'm going to try next time. Where am I going to go next?
Let's do it.
Ooh, the handles of this are very cold. Put that on my bare thighs. I do have pants on. I just want to let everyone know I do have shorts. But
You're one of those Panera perverts.
I'm a Panera. I just like to watch. Next week on the Fine Dining Podcast, I will be going to
Joe's Crab Shack.
Joe's Crab Shack. Have you ever been to Joe's Crab Shack?
I haven't.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you're vegan, why would you?
Yeah, vegan with an asterisk. Sorry, I don't want the real vegans to get upset
Cheetos.
with me.
You had a bite of cherry
Cheetos.
pastry that probably had eggs. You're a
I
traitor.
know, honestly, I'm like, you guys, I'm sorry.
Nah. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for dressing the part.
Oh, yeah.
To be in line with Panera.
I'm trying to, be like, when I worked at Panera, they would host little parties called bread bashes, and it would just be
orgies.
Exactly what it sounds. Oh,
they're orgies.
Yeah, so I just dressed for the Panera orgy.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you coming on.
Thanks for having
tell
me.
people where they can find you on social media.
Oh, yeah. You can find me on social media. I'm around and about. I don't do much if you want to hang out even. Like my address is...
My DMs are open.
My Instagram is bitch, bitch, 1993.
I love how hesitant you are to say it, despite the fact that it's such an aggressive username. You're oh, my username is bitch 1993.
It's 95. No, I'm just kidding.
BITCH if you don't know how it's spelled, if you're new.
Yeah. Well, I say the Instagram is straight up bitch. TikTok, I had to do betch with an E. Because I got in trouble. So
Yeah. And then you can follow the show on Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky at Fine Dining Podcast. I also have a Discord server now. You can find a link to that on the homepage of my website or in the description of this episode, whether you're listening to it or watching it on YouTube. I also have a Patreon. I do an exclusive episode every single month of another restaurant that gets added to the tchotchke of mediocrity. So there's a whole bunch of stuff up here that you can dive into my Patreon and hear the story behind those restaurants. Things like Burger King or Blaze Pizza is coming up soon.
Ooh.
Jersey Mike's. I covered Dan's Hamburgers, which is my favorite diner in Austin, Texas. They've got the best burger I've ever had. I went to Dick's Last Resort in December. Do you know Dick's?
Is it
It's one of those places where they neg you. They give you bad service on surface.
that has the bras hanging? Maybe they got rid of the bras.
There was a moose that had bras in its antlers.
Yeah.
But that was the only thing.
Okay, yeah.
That was bra centric to it. But yeah, I've done lots of fun places that they all have their own stories, and I like to dive into them. So go check that out if you're curious for more content. In the meantime, we did not find the most mediocre restaurant in America. The search does, in fact, continue. I will see you next week for Joe's Crab Shack. Have a fine day.
The search continues. We still need the perfect five. The search continues. Like and subscribe. The search continues. Our journey did not conclude. The Mother Effing search continues. Write us an iTunes review. And hey, while you're at it, why don't you go ahead and make it 5 stars, huh? Come on. Follow us on TikTok. The same on Instagram. All the socials at Fine Dining Podcast. We have a website, finediningpodcast.com. Buy our t-shirts, then put them on. And don't forget, you can always suggest where we go next. Okay, we're going to find it. Mediocrity. The search continues. See you next week. Hurt my throat a little.
Have a fine day.